Hello, beautiful spirit. Abel Aum here from Abel Spirit to Me, and I am Abel Aum Soham Hansaha Swāhā, which means I am breathing spirit, child of God. I am that I am, I surrender. So today's video is not going to be very long, but I did promise you guys that if I had any realizations or conclusions while I was taking this class, I'd make sure to do a video and share it with you. I also mentioned in my last video that whenever I watch any YouTubers out there who have messages that I agree with or correspond with my current realizations, I would definitely share a link with you and mention it. So last night I was having a hard time sleeping. I was laying in bed trying not to think, keeping my mind quiet, listening to my internal breath, and trying not to think at all. And a couple of realizations popped in my head. But the funny thing about realizations and intuition is that it's an idea. It is a complete idea that is so quick and so full that you can't comprehend every aspect of it immediately. So a lot of times you need to sleep on it and let it cultivate in your mind while you're asleep. Your unconscious has a great what's the word I'm looking for? It's a great method, I would just say, of decoding this download. That's one way people say they download information from source. Um, Another way to put it is just that you have silenced the chatter in your mind and you come up with these new ideas that need time to put together in a way that you can actually present it. So the realizations that I have are often very quick, and they're so quick that they seem unimportant, even though I have a feeling, a deep feeling, that is it. I need to write that down. I need to remember that. And the problem is, you want to get up, you want to write it down, and then the brain doesn't have enough time to fully cultivate it and make it ready to present. So last night I was in bed thinking, you know, I need to find a way to calm my mind down so I can stop thinking, so I can go to sleep, etc. And what clicked in my mind is that even in that completely positive mindset, I was still using the mind, wasn't I? I wasn't using theta or delta brainwaves. I was using alpha and beta still. So, uh, so many ways you can go with this video. So what I realized was, rather than thinking about how can I improve in the future, really the emphasis should not be what can I do to improve in the future. It is what can I do on an ongoing basis, every single moment, every single day, to achieve what I want to achieve. Because the basic moral of the story is, when people say it's not the destination, it's the journey. It is the journey, but it's more than that. It's what you're doing right now, in the now. And of course, that's very Eckhart Tolle-ish, right? So anything that you can do to try to maintain a no mind state in the moment is what you should be doing, and stressing about what you can do in the future to improve it is the enemy. So what am I getting at? What I'm getting at is a quote popped in my head randomly, and it was the quote. Well, let me back up. I was thinking, what can I do to try to get back to where I want to be? What I want to be is completely living on prana only. I want to be 100% breatharian or Atmarian, right? So I want to achieve this living on light, essentially. And you have to get to a certain point to which you can stop judging things. You get to a certain point where you're completely peaceful and blissful and optimistic and excited about life, to the point that you don't really feel hunger. If you feel hunger, then you should eat. Otherwise, you're just starving yourself. So you're kind of fighting it at that point. You're fighting your ego. You're fighting yourself if you're hungry. So if you're not hungry, you don't have to worry about it. It's like you're gifted. And I want to give you an example. I know some people who moved to Colorado, and these people, I was kind of looking at them as, oh my gosh, they have such strong willpower. They're amazing because they quit smoking, they quit drinking, they quit doing this and that and this and that. And there was a certain person who was very ego fed, trying to convince me that yes, I am amazing. I did this on my own. It's willpower. And he was claiming that. Well, he was claiming a lot of things, but he was claiming that God was giving him the strength. But then another person who was up there living with this other person said that they also had quit smoking and drinking and doing all these things. And the reason why was because at that height in Colorado, that elevation, Their body was no longer allowing it. It made them have headaches. It made them have a difficulty breathing. It made them feel sick. And the reason this is pertinent is because this week I have had some kind of stomach thing, some kind of weird stomach thing, and some kind of lung thing as well. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. COVID, blah, blah, blah. No, stop thinking that, okay? First of all, I'm vaccinated, and even if it were COVID, I don't care. I'm not sick, and I can still taste and smell. Everything's fine. But anyway, I kind of have the tendency of using a third eye perspective, which means if things seem sucky, take a pause and think about the positive sides of it. So this week, my stomach has been upset. It's been upset to the point that I can no longer eat food. I mean, I really mean that food. Whenever I eat, I feel very sick. I feel very uncomfortable. My stomach hurts. I have to go to the bathroom a lot, and I almost feel like nauseated. Now, some people might say that I have a flu bug or a stomach virus, etc. But I'd like to spin it that it is a blessing. It's a gift from my body to make me realize that there are certain things that I can do that make me feel good and certain things that I do that make me feel bad. So I've been eating very light things like, oh, shoot, I don't know, a tomato or a banana, maybe some cheese, some milk. Um, by the way, I know there are people out there who are all vegan and whatnot, and I'm not criticizing anyone's choices. Technically speaking, if you're going to eat anything, fruits are the absolute highest vibration thing you can eat. But juices are also in that realm of very good for you. So liquid diet is great, but also not eating. And when it comes to light food, some people might say you want to eat crackers, something like that. But well, we didn't have any in the house, so I just ate a little cheese. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is my body has been talking to me this week, telling me not to eat food because food makes my stomach hurt. It's also been talking to me about my lungs. I started to feel, I don't know if you guys watch all my videos, but there was a video recently about 2 or 3 months back where whenever I smoke a cigarette, my lungs were feeling kind of like I was drowning almost. And it's interesting because part of the yogic techniques are getting over the need to breathe. It's kind of hard to explain, but you're holding your breath and holding without breath so long that you slowly get over the idea that you need to breathe. You're kind of retraining your body to stop needing breath. So anyway, I wasn't scared. These symptoms are not scaring me whatsoever, but it is interesting to note that it's my body, I should say this body, because I am a spirit, I'm not a mind or a body, I am in this body. So this body is telling me, hey, you might want to stop doing these things. So let's move forward. The quote, Einstein's quote. It is the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Well, that's a very popular quote, but if you think about it, it actually goes against our natural inclination to keep trying. It really does. It kind of tells you to give up. Like, okay, you can't do this. Rather than trying again, you just give up and walk away. I don't think that's what Einstein intended. He's a very smart guy, probably smarter than most of us, probably smarter than me. But I think what he actually meant was trying the same thing without any adjustments and without any expectations of doing better is insanity. Because pure trying over and over and over and over is actually the key to success. It's kind of like the expression, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. In nature, if anything makes enough ruckus to get noticed, it will eventually equal a result. So I would say that Einstein is too late for him to change his quote. Maybe he was misquoted, but I would argue that Einstein actually meant that you should keep trying, but you should change very small things in order to keep trying the same thing and see if you can get a result in that way. Don't give up, because giving up is basically the enemy. Enemy is fear, and fear makes you stop trying. So I would say that giving up is the enemy. Insanity, the real definition of insanity, is not the same one Einstein said. So that's part one. So what I'm getting at is my body has actually been talking to me this week, telling me to go back and do what I feel is right for me, which is the Atmarian or the Breatharian, the pranic living pathway. So try to resist these heavy foods, resist these toxins, and resist anything that I know is not necessarily high vibration for me as a spirit. So that would include mind numbing TV, that would include pornography and wasting energy. So, what I wanted to point out is what it goes back to is the book I wrote, or I should say the book that was written by this vessel called On the Path, An Energetic Approach to Enlightenment. I'm going to include that link in this video as well. And basically, I got home today and I was randomly watching some of my YouTube subscribees. Anyway, channels I'm subscribed to. And I watched two videos, one by Elatom Elamine, which is a well-known breatharian, and one by that guy I mentioned in the last video, John St. Julian. And the Elatom Elamine video was great, but I'm not going to really mention his comments because it was kind of very broad spectrum. But the the John St. Julian video actually covered a very interesting point. And what he did is he actually mirrored the whole first book that I wrote. And he's very well spoken. So if you watch his video, it's 30 minutes long, which is kind of long, but it's very well spoken. And he can tell you kind of why the first step is what the book is On the Path, An Indirect Approach to Enlightenment. It is building up your energy, building up your vitality. That's the word he uses. Now, it's kind of splitting hairs, telling you vitality versus kundalini versus the energy of God, yin and yang, and otherwise. But what he's talking about is using these energy building practices to build up your energy to the point that you actually can overcome these old mind patterns. You guys know that I do a lot of conscious and subconscious reprogramming because I think it's something like 85% of the things you do during the day are due to your subconscious, and you can actually reprogram your subconscious by listening to affirmations while you're asleep and by repeating affirmations while you're awake. So it all goes in full circle. Step one is to build the energy in your energetic system by doing these classically, esoterically religious practices like eating healthy and moving as little as possible, replacing negative thoughts in your mind with positive thoughts, praying. All these things are classically religious, but they are actually energy building practices that help to build the energy in your body, the kundalini, vitality, etc. And when you do that, you're doing it by not thinking about what you're going to do in the future, but in the moment, every moment, when you have a temptation to do something that you know that you shouldn't do, you've made a promise to yourself that you're going to replace that with another habit. I believe they say it takes about 21 days to make a new habit. So we're not talking about a long time here. We're talking about making yourself adhere to practices that are energetically better than your other practices for 21 days. And I don't believe it's any coincidence that Jasmine Heen's original How to Become a Breatharian was 21 days. The first 10 days were dry fasting and then otherwise. Excuse me. Okay, so I don't want to make this video very long, but what I wanted to point out is synchronicities. These other teachers that I'm watching are getting the same downloads that I'm getting about speaking out onto the first steps in this journey, and that it's not about making yourself go to a very huge, I need to become this, I need to do this and this and this. It's right now, in the moment, what are the small things that you can do for a short period of time to change your energy system? Maybe it's to smoke less cigarettes. Maybe it's to eat less meat. Maybe it's to meditate once in a while. Maybe it's to conserve your seed. Any one small step that you hold on for, a small amount of time, like 21 days, you are winning. You are doing it. And because you're doing it in the moment, you're not thinking about the future. You're thinking about right now, I have a craving for pizza. Rather than pizza, I can go either distract myself with something else. Maybe I'm going to go on a walk. Maybe I can eat something healthy. Maybe I can eat something salty that's not a high fat and meat and etc. So What I'm talking about is replacing your subconscious habits, your unconscious habits, with new habits that are higher vibrational so that you build your energy system. And over time, it's a feedback loop. The more energy your system can hold, the more power you hold. And I mean over your entire reality. Your reality is a reflection of your internal energy system, all of your chakras, etc. So, I don't know if there's a conclusion to this video, except for sometimes realizations come in a flash and you have to give them time to cultivate. And then sometimes you listen to somebody else who is even better spoken than you and can share some new light on what you were receiving originally. All right, so this video is a little bit scattered. I apologize for that. But in the link below, I am going to put a link in for my book. I'm sorry, the book, not my book. And also the link to St Julian, because, again, his video was very good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. It was kind of scattered. I didn't have any notes or anything. It just was coming to me. Be well, you guys. You know I will. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, or email me at rectorarendale@gmail.com. And if you do subscribe, please hit the little bell button so you know when I post a video. Thanks again, you guys. Take care. Bye.